Hi, I'm Doc Dave Pfeiffer, 101st Airborne, Vietnam, 1969 and 70. LZ Sally, just outside of Hue. I was in the 2nd Platoon out in the jungle for a year. I was diagnosed with PTSD and doing the group therapy down at Long Beach, VA. And I was talking to lots of other guys with different MOSs. Mostly 11 Bravo, and it occurred to me that I wasn't really talking with other medics, and I thought medics needed to talk among each other because we had kind of certain needs to talk among each other different from the GIs. I ran into a fella and became instant friends, Guy Lemunion, who was another medic in the Airborne, 101st, of course, and we hit it off famously right away. We had so many things in common, and discovered that we were in the same outfit back to back, one year after another, which made us instantly close friends. And we got talking, and after having so many things in common, we agreed that medics needed to talk together and share experiences because we'd had so many of the same, well, incidents, if you will, that when we worked on patients in the jungle, our fellow brothers, if you will, we would hear, do, and experience things like no other veterans ever experienced. And with these shared experiences, it made us unique and separate. We weren't able to really talk and share these experiences. The other veterans didn't want to hear those last words that we heard that stuck with us for the rest of our lives. And we might even remember them in our sleep, in our nightmares, in our memories that never went away for the rest of our lives. Who are we going to talk to about those kinds of things? And when we do therapy with the other GIs, yeah, it's nice to talk about surface events, battles, places we were, things that happened, but we're just scraping the surface. We're not really going deep and hearing the things that really get into our heart and our soul, that bother us at our deepest level. And medics need to share those things, air those griefs out, to get down there, the things that really move us the most at our heart and our soul. And fellows came to us and asked us questions about religion, about their wives and girlfriends back home. We were the ones they turned to with the Dear John letters. There were so many things, because we were the medic, that they came to depend on us for so many things that it's even hard to describe in words, that we carried home with us. When we treated them in the field and sent them off on a medical helicopter, medevac if you will, we never got to hear what was the result. If that patient survived because of the efforts we did, the things we did in the field, we didn't get a final resolution to know if these guys came back alive, if they went back home to the States, if they went to the hospital in Japan. We don't know what happened to them. It's unresolved. We need to talk among ourselves and air some of these things out. And PTSD is good, and the group therapy is good, and all that, but it's not really a finishing product for us, because it goes so unresolved in so many areas. For the medics and the training we had, it's an unfinished product. It goes unresolved, and we walk around with all these things that are still going on inside our minds and our hearts. I think medics need to talk among other medics. Maybe it needs to be part of the training program, I don't know. But there needs to be more discussion. There needs to be more therapy. I think we need a medics program that's devoted just to medics, to take a look at this, analyze it.
Oh, wow. Well, I served with the 101st Airborne with the 3327 Infantry Regiment as a medic with Delta Company. When I first got out of the service, I didn't know what was going on. My brother-in-law asked me, "Hey, what's up? Why are you always locking yourself up and stuff?" And then I didn't really thought nothing about it. And then about 5 years ago, I was having problems and stuff. I was already married. My wife was getting mad at me, and I didn't know why I was getting angry. So, and then I know it's just my dream just gotten worse and stuff. So I went to end up getting to outpatient psychiatrist and get checked out, and then I found out I had PTSD, and then, so they referred me to this outpatient psychiatrist and had an appointment. And then I went through the group and stuff with a CPT graduate group. And then while I was doing the process, there were one of my psychologists told me, there's a combat medic group. Do you want to go to that? Because since you don't know anybody, because everybody in my group I went to were all Vietnam veteran. I was kind of young with that group. So I went to that group, referred to it with Dr. Houston was running the group. And I was very surprised that all these guys had the same thing I did, but the time periods were all different. I met one guy who was also from my time period, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Same time I met guys were OIF, World War II, Korea, and in Vietnam era. And then at that point, I felt alone anymore, because I knew that they had the same feeling when I first started in the group. Also, I was very quiet because I was trying to assess, because at that time I still didn't feel comfortable. I never felt comfortable anyway with a good group of people. As I got to know the guys better, I started talking more, and then I thought coming to the group was very helpful. At least once a week, it felt great just coming there. We come with these guys were also medics and corpsmen and stuff. And then when I felt something not right, I talked to them about it, and I get response from them, and it made me kind of at least make me feel great that day. And I was looking forward to come back every week for it. But I think the group, in my opinion, is very helpful because I felt comfortable. At least these guys were in the same situation I was, but the time periods was a lot different. So so I still come here once a week, just feeling relief, seeing and talking to these guys.
How could we do it better? How could we improve?
How can we improve? I guess kind of get us more understanding what's going on with us, because I still I'm actually a nurse, and I still don't quite understand what's going on with me. At least I wish somebody could explain it a little bit more, other than the guys just telling me, we have that too, and this is what I do with it. But I wish I can understand a little bit more, because I still quite don't understand it myself.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
I came to the medics group about in 2008, so that's about 7 years ago. And the reason being is that when, as a Vietnam veteran, most of us, when we got out of the military, we just were given a pass and we left, and that was it. And I wanted nothing to do with the military. I was wounded, and I had hearing loss already, and so about in 7 years, 8, 10 years ago, my world started unraveling, and all the symptoms of PTSD, the fear, the trauma, the anxiety, it all started coming back. And at that point, well, okay, I know where this is coming from. So that's when I first approached the VA. But when I got to the VA, and the interviewer, and as I went through the process, then they said, okay, you're a combat medic, Purple Heart. They sent me directly over to this group, and I have been here ever since. I can tell you that the benefits have been, I mean, you can't, clinically, put them down on paper, but the group, the format of the group, where we're all together, we're all on equal footing. We know each other. We understand what we've all gone through, and that in itself is what kind of nurtures an openness and a desire to come out and discuss your issues. I've been here with a group where we had veterans from World War II, the Korean War, on down to the current Iraq, Afghanistan issues, and we're all brothers of the same issues and traumas that we've all experienced. Granted, okay, we're all on medication, we're all on doing different things for ourselves, but the camaraderie and the brotherhood that this group has created it's an intangible. It's you can view it as a medication, so to speak. You come here for your dose every week, and I'm saying things that the younger vets are also saying. This is why we come here.
And how could it be improved? How can we do this better?
That's a good question, and I'm not a clinician. I can say to you that having at this moment we don't have any professionals to kind of guide with us, but having a professional might be a way to improve, so that somebody who is clinically trained can enhance the dialogues and give us perspectives and allow tools and techniques that we can work with to continue. I am aware at my 60 years of age that this is a lifelong struggle. I have learned to deal with it and for a quality of life. And if anything, at this stage in my life, it's not just so much for me anymore, but the younger brothers that are coming behind me. They're the ones that need to be attended to, and this is a program that has helped me, and obviously I'm sure it will help many others.
My name is Peter F. Martinez. I was a combat medic in Vietnam, 1968 through 1970. I did 2 tours, one with the 196 Light Infantry Brigade. The second tour was with the 91st Evac Hospital. I waited 40 years before I asked for assistance from the VA, and mine is a little selfishness. I asked for help from the VA so that my wife would not have to go through the trials and tribulations of being married to a combat person and not understanding why I did the things that I did. So mine is so that my wife did not have to go through these. When I came here, I was diagnosed with PTSD. Also been Agent Orange, which gives you a lot of other affiliations to diseases, diabetes, and other things that you get being in Vietnam. Coming to the Combat Medics group, I was referred to by my psychiatrist. I came here, I listened for a year without saying anything, and then I progressively started to engage myself with the class. Recently, I've become a leader in the class, where I am a facilitator for the peer-to-peer, and so I lead the group. How do I feel that the group should be able to progress? I feel through education is the best way for them to progress. Education in taking more classes here at the VA to enhance their ability to deal with PTSD and other symptoms that they may or may not have. That's pretty much about it.
Okay.
My name is John, combat medic. I served in the 25th Infantry Division out of Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. I was with 121 1st 21st Infantry Battalion, served in Iraq 2007, 2009, and then Iraq 2010, 2011. I was, after I left Hawaii, I went to Fort Jackson to a TRADOC post where they trained soldiers, and I was really, really angry, and I started seeing therapists and trying to figure out what was wrong. And I think what hurt me the most is I was going to stay in the Army for 20 years and retire. When I was diagnosed with PTSD, they started telling me that I couldn't stay in anymore. And when I retired last year, I was really messed up, and I came to the VA and asked, I think I asked if there was a combat medic group. I'm pretty sure I did, just because everybody I met said I was screwed up. My wife, my mom, everybody. And I didn't see it, but when I started coming to this group, the Vietnam vets saw it, and it kind of scared me that the Vietnam vets thought I was that messed up, that angry. But coming to this group, this is my first time in a medic group. It's helped more than I could even imagine.
Okay. How can we do it better?
Just keep it up, spread the word. I'm actually moving to Texas soon, so I need one in San Antonio, so let's do it.
I thought we did well, and we covered lots of ground and lots of different and varying experiences. And of course, there were some Navy corpsmen that were in there that were trained slightly different from us, and it was interesting to see the kind of equipment and the way they were trained and how they approached dealing with their patients as well. I thought we got, each and every one of us, a lot out of the experience, and I would hope that that kind of a therapy group would expand and go throughout the VA system. I, for one, would vote for that and hope that people in authority would see that that needs to be done. The medics need to have a place to go and experience that and a greater participation. I thought I gained a lot of insight, and I thought the other medics did too, learning about their brothers and their combat experience. There were a lot of pluses and minuses to take from the group, learning and experiencing from each other. Lots of good came out of it, and of course being able to catharsis and ventilate a lot of the backed up emotions and feelings and experiences that we had was a very positive thing. Meeting our other medics from all over and the differences and of course finding out what happened to them when they came home, and finding out the vocations and what they went into and how their lives changed as a result of it was very moving, and how they decided to cope with their experiences was very enlightening. I think that we all needed to learn from that and take something from it. The minuses were some of the veterans that, or medics that took negative experiences from it, that were non-combat vets that didn't adjust well, didn't adjust to being in group therapy with combat vets. Apparently some of them didn't mix well with the combat vets and didn't like hearing our stories, and that part of it didn't go well. I would suggest that there should be a separation of combat medics from the non-combat medics, that in the future that separation would work well in the future ahead. But all medics need some kind of a group to differentiate themselves from the common veterans, or the 11 Bravos, if you will. Anyway, that's all I can think of for the moment.